What they don't teach you at Y Combinator. I can't believe this thing is actually taken off. But you know what? It's starting to take off because you are helping it take off. 5 ways, in 5 ways, that they what they don't teach you at Y Combinator. 5 different ways. How are you before I start? How are you this morning? I bet you're pretty good. I bet you're pretty good. And I hope you can laugh while you not install me on Tuesdays, not coming to Mountain View to speak, but I am going to just be giving it to you here in this format because because it's great. What they don't teach you at Y Combinator is sometimes you think I'm smart, but I literally got my dog's head and butt mixed up because I was touching his eyeball and his nose, going, there's something wrong with his ass. So if you get intimidated by this content, know that a dude who literally cannot tell the difference between his dog's head and butt, or gets ass and head mixed up. So you should be super intimidated or super pressured that a guy who's way dumber than you is getting way better results. Who mentored you to do what? So what I see at YC alums and active portfolio participants, cohorts, classes, some special jargon that YC only uses, is you guys get it mixed up with who told you what. You're just trying to do what you did in school, which is, oh, the school and the system tells me I need to be here at 7:50 or 8:15 for first period. You don't remember who told you what because you're not a business professional trying to ascertain who your best unofficial board of advisors are. You're just solely on what I thought and what somebody else thought. Let me repeat the structure. The goal is to get better advice from specific people. In order to curate that, you're going to need to listen to specific people and, dare I say, start to compile data on who's mentoring you to do what and the quality of their advice. Problem. You don't know who told you what. You're literally like a woman who gets advice from her nail tech during a pedicure on how to manage your man. Like, that's the whole negative on women, is it's a society of sisterhood. But guess what guys do now? Guys do the same thing because I don't know why. Like, if I were getting advice, I'd want to keep taking advice from Mark McCormack because in my first year of entrepreneurship, I got $0 in VC and literally $1 million. Not in a safe, not in a Series B, okay? No. Because revenue is actually some of the most emotionally hard money that's actually easy once you start to make it. So when I heard good advice from Mark McCormack, I paid more attention to Mark McCormack. I didn't just water down all that Larry Chang advice with like some quarter-baked Y Combinator VC, although Gary Tan is pretty good and Brian Caldwell is okay when he tells you, yeah, don't do a music startup. And then Justin Kahn, okay, he is so good that he actually actively deleted his Genius blog posts because they were, dangerously close to sounding like Justin Kahn was mentored by Larry Chang. Oh, we can't have that. Let's delete everything. What? This isn't Larry Chang content, okay? If there's one thing I gotta stress to you, this is genius, octogenarian, 80-year-old dude content with slightly more energy. Actually, sometimes less energy. This is how to Waze GPS. This is how to Waze GPS. It's hard to invert. This is how to Waze GPS your way from your current virgin status, involuntary economic celibate, towards 600K in revenue. You thought I was going to say unicorn, right? You thought I was going to say unicorn. No. It's this arbitrage. It isn't venture round to venture round. It is not even Tuesday night dinner to Tuesday night dinner reporting in progress, although that is the goal. It is hear something, do something. It isn't hear something and then compile more and warehouse more data and intellectual data and intellectual know-how. I almost said intellectual property. Because some people do that too. They start compiling patents and they're like, if I can just only get to like 72 patents, then I could start. That's not how the Wright brothers started, bitch. Hear something, do something. Read a thing, make money. Oh, right on cue with the Wright brothers. They didn't wait until VCs or the government watched a prototype of an airplane fly and then say, hey, can I get some VC money? No. They read something and then they did something. They shipped. They shipped a ship, an airship. They shipped an airship. I'm happy angry because even when the Wright brothers invented an airplane, it was disputed as to who invented aerospace engineering. Hashtag Aero ENG. Why do I love aerospace engineering? Because it literally takes a rocket scientist to run chaos in a PM. Not product manager, portfolio manager for a douchebag hedge fund. Read a thing, make money. That's what they don't teach you at Y Combinator. You get an essay that PG spools off that's actually quite genius, and then you're like, oh, let's just talk about the genius essay and brag that you're in YC. It's the most interesting thing that will ever happen in my life is being in Y Combinator. No. The most interesting thing that'll ever happen to you is that you're going to meet Tom Brady with Tom Brady while you're paying us $35 million for a VC investment that we then invest $21 million into that you can then put into TechCrunch, VentureBeat, the New York Times, Washington Post, if they're still alive. So you can just do a VC press announcement. That's what you guys are good at. That's how the money works. Pay us 35, and then we'll say that we invested 21. It's the Sam Bankman fraud model, which, was he a YC? I think. Credit a person. What they don't teach you at Y Combinator is being loyal to a mentor who either briefly helped you or maybe didn't even help you, and now you give them credit anyway. Do you know what this is like? This is like the most genius thing ever, which I'm not even going to walk you through because it's too Jedi. It's too, oh, Larry understands social engineering. Learn that and then get away from him. Okay, so this is the most anti-Indian piece of advice that you will get, which is you actually want to credit a mentor. You see, when South Asian / North Asian people give oftentimes a Caucasian dude credit, What am I doing when I'm saying Mark McCormack is a terrific mentor? Irv Grosbeck is a terrific mentor. Augie Garrido via Mark McCormack, via direct from Augie Garrido, is a terrific mentor. What am I doing when I'm doing that? I'm not vagina whispering, okay? I'm doing something harder than vagina whispering, pussy magnet, which is I'm seasoned executive whispering. And what's harder than whispering and getting a seasoned executive to throw money at you is to get a GOAT seasoned executive to throw money at you and throw his best contacts at you. Let me repeat, when you charm an executive who's the greatest of all time, Mark McCormack, Irv Grosbeck is literally a living legend. What they don't teach at Y Combinator is that you actually want to go to Columbia Business School in the same way that Warren Buffett got into business school, which is by writing a letter of praise saying, I read your textbook, I can't believe you're alive, that makes you a living legend. And now that Columbia Business School professor invites you, Warren Buffett, into Columbia Business School. Brady, you do such a good job drinking water. Wow, you're not even going to bite my face off when I try to kiss you? Columbia Business School professor invited Warren Buffett in verbally. Irv Grosbeck invited Larry Chang into Stanford GSB verbally. Coincidentally, I wrote Irv Grosbeck fan mail saying, Irv, I can't believe you're still alive. I read your book. I use your book. It's the Bible. It's not just search funds. It's doing turnarounds. Have you ever heard of my company, Duck 9? Not to Irv Grosbeck. Obviously, Irv Grosbeck had heard of Duck 9 because he's a whale. And whales pay attention to future whales, which is why when this baby whale, not baby shark, this baby whale, I got a song coming out I'll be releasing, kind of like Andrew Mason singing to YC people. This baby whale is going to promote a whale, which is why I'm the whale whisperer. Oh my God, that's what it is. I'm a whale whisperer. Because get it, vagina whisperer is dolphin whisperer, which is pussy magnet, and whale whisperer is really good at seasoned executive charming. Because octogenarian dudes are on the hunt for legacy. They're on the hunt for that because they have 17 lifetimes of money that they make per year. They're spending less than $100,000. They have 70 lifetimes of money, but what they don't have is a lot of life left. They want to be immortal, and the way that you will never die is where a younger person who's 26, who's going to be saying, Mark McCormack, he's my mentor. Irv Grosbeck, he's a crazy guy. Let me tell you about how awesome he is. And then everybody wants to hear a Tom Brady story. They always want to hear a Tom Brady story because Tom Brady is super nice and forward. So you want to be able to read what they don't teach you at Y Combinator. You want to be able to read a thing, do a thing. You want to be able to meet a whale and then get better. In fact, tweet at me, #WhaleWhisperer, and say, whale, panda, duck, thank you for your what they don't teach you at Y Combinator video series. Me and all the YC people, we download the video once and then we watch it to suppress your views. Because how are so many people texting me about it, yet my view count is sub 70,000, sub 63,000 30. It's actually a key number. Type in YC 63030 Larry Chang into the Twitter search box, which is broken. You got to hit that plus latest. If you hit top, it won't work. General, not specific. What they don't teach you at Y Combinator is to listen for bankruptcy words. Bankruptcy words are general, and non-specific. What do I mean by that? I will say, oh, this is how to go from Crasher to VIP. And then people will be like, don't ask for permission, don't ask for forgiveness, some colloquial bankrupt quote. No, it's not what you said, it's what I said. Because what I said spiders into 650 details. What they don't teach you at Y Combinator is what they do teach you in the hospitality industry is that you want to be detail-minded. You want to remember who told you what, and you want to be able to write things down even though you can remember the whole order. Because the point of writing it down is you want to put not yourself at ease, you want to put your potential customer at ease. In fact, just assume that they're a customer. That's why pen to paper. Look at all the YC people that use like, what's that precursor? Was it Elephant? Evernote. Actually, Evernote is okay because it's did an API in a Moleskine, which is a perfect example, like Remarkable. How do you bridge over to paper? Besides just being paperless, because when I take notes on my phone, okay, it looks horrible. Oh, let me write that down. And I'm literally doing this, and the optics for it, horrible. Your whale gets depressed. In fact, you're not whale whispering, you're flogging a dolphin. You're flogging your own dolphin. You're signaling that you're a dolphin flogger. That's not good, okay? I'm not talking about masturbation. I'm talking about beating your whale by demoralizing them by flogging your whale or baby whale. You're flogging Larry Chang by holding up a phone and typing notes. Horrible optics. You are the unicorn that women want to hunt. Cunt. No idea what that means. Oh, I know what that means. You are the unicorn. You are the unicorn that women want to hunt. That's what they don't teach you at Y Combinator. I'm going to just leave it at one sentence. Your intuition pattern recognition is killing you. This is so true. This is so true when people talk about, not people, YC. Oh, my gut tells me that like he's a sales guy and like we're nerds and we only want to connect to other nerds. The clearest litmus test that you are failing at, the pattern recognition that you're doing that is incorrect, is this. What do you think of Travis Kalanick, Uber founder? Have you heard him speak? Does he sound like a salesman? Well, guess what? Just because Elon Musk and Travis Kalanick and Garrett Camp are really good at sales, Ryan Graves. Just because we're really good at sales does not make our UCLA engineering degree any less potent. Travis Kalanick, UCLA alum. Ditto Trevor Bauer. His video series about baseball is kind of salesy and kind of snarky, but that does not make his UCLA engineering background any less of a top 4 Big Ten engineering program. Coming in solidly at number 3. It's Michigan, maybe Illinois, Michigan, and then Illinois or Michigan, number 2, and then UCLA, number 3. You want to be your own DB. You don't want to delegate CEO-ness to a business person. That's how we as engineering majors, that's how we get fired from our own company. Because we used to get fired all the time. Now, much less so. But we don't want to be 3 co-founders, half of us sell, and we're going to hire a VP of sales. If you do it that way, okay, enjoy bankruptcy. If you're 3 co-founders hoping to hire a VP of sales, what they don't teach you at Y Combinator is you get 2 VP of sales. Once those 2 VPs of sales don't get you to $600K in revenue, you're fucking dead. You're fucking welcome. That's what they don't teach you at Y Combinator is fucking motherfucking avoid startup death spiral. Thanks for coming to my Tuesday night keynote that lasted 16 minutes. Get it? My 22 minutes is your 16 minutes. In fact, my 16 minutes is actually 16 years of your life. Oh, Joe Dispenza, chapter 11, time. Time is a flat circle. Time in your mental map. My 16 minutes is your Waze, your WAZE. It's a traffic navigation app that won South by because I sold Waze at South by to help win South by. South by, it's not inside industry jargon. It's a conference that was once great, still decent, that would anoint who gets to be a future unicorn. Winner, buy Larry Chang dinner without you coming to dinner because I don't want to eat dinner with you. In fact, FedEx me a gift card. 98 Duck 9, 98 San Jacinto, Duck 9, Austin, Texas 78701. 98 like Larry Chang's baseball number +2. 98 like Trevor Bauer's baseball number +2. Oh, but Trevor Bauer's a ropist. No, he just didn't learn what Larry Chang understands about banging on the road. Right? 0 accusations, 0 prosecutions, 0 Me Too's. After taking down literally a number that would think that, where you would think that I'm literally a prostitute. Trevor Bauer, on the other hand, has about 6 horrible accusations, all untrue, all beaten, and that's in a prior video that I won't link to because it was the video on, I remember, November 3rd. That's me giving you the middle finger. Read between the lines. You beat that charge. 98. 96 Trevor Bauer. 96 Larry Chang. 98. You're welcome. What they don't teach you at Y Combinator is hashtag PRPRPI. Pattern recognition, pattern recognition, pattern repetition, pattern iteration. PRPRPI. So you want to delegate pattern recognition to your mentor. We want to just do pattern repetition and pattern iteration. Do you remember at the beginning of the video, we're talking about hear a specific mentor, make money. So when you hear the specific mentor, doesn't matter how it came at you, whether it came at you common sense, where you were in alignment with it. The most blue pill Pollyanna bankrupt word I've ever heard, okay, is, oh, I need to be in alignment. In fact, listen for the word alignment and just think every time the person says alignment, say bankruptcy. Because alignment means all the planets need to be in one linear line in order for you to try distribution for 6 minutes. And that happens like once every 3,000 years. So when you say in alignment, basically I'm hearing that all those things need to come together in order for you to just do one thing. That's my pattern recognition. And then don't be like, oh, I don't remember who told me that. Okay, I don't remember who told me that. In fact, maybe you don't believe any of the most basic shit that me and Keith Verboy understand, which is just don't make unforced errors in your business. And at YC, you're still making a shit ton of unforced errors leading to a crash out. And then you quit, and then you go to business school. Put a pin in that, because we're going to hit that topic on the agenda. And so pattern recognition, pattern repetition, pattern iteration. Pattern recognition, you give up to your mentor. We, Larry Chang and Tom Brady, we just do pattern repetition, pattern iteration. Oh, now you understand why dudes with an IQ under 90, okay, are currently kicking your ass. Okay? They're currently kicking your ass. Because all we're doing is focusing on the reps and the iterations. Which is why you got to learn at YC what they do teach you at Stanford Baseball. Reps, repetitions. Remember the alignment thing. Because as soon as you hear somebody say, oh, I feel like I'm out of alignment. Okay, we're not talking about your back being perfect. Okay, Joe Dispenza, Chapter 1, Becoming Supernatural. Why am I quoting these books? Because people are like, oh, you're such a pussy magnet. Show me how to bust my virgin cherry, my male virgin cherry, not my female virgin cherry, unless you're older than 22 and younger than 23. Oh, will you help me? Yeah, okay, I will help you. Because nobody wants to date in the middle part of anything that's not like 6 figures, 6-pack, and with 6 mil in the bank, right? And 6 or 9 inches of D. When a Chinese dude tells you he's got 9 inches D, he's really got 11 or 14, which is why sometimes it hits the microphone. Pattern recognition, you delegate to your mentor. Tom Brady. Tom Brady's my mentor. The human and the dog, actually. We do pattern repetition and pattern iteration. That's what they don't teach you at Y Combinator, is focus on the reps. When you're doing things that don't scale, you got to get at least 20 reps in, because you can just read that essay and then never touch it. Oh, everybody seems to be in consensus, you blue pill, Ethereum hoarding, layer 2, layer 4 ninnies, okay? This is what they don't teach you at Y Combinator, is it's only Larry Chang's Web 5 that I came up with. Put a pin in that. Put a pin in that. Put my pattern recognition. Put a pin in my pattern recognition, because I'm going to hit that too, because it's definitely what they don't teach you at Y Combinator. Pattern recognition. Pattern recognition we do. We do not do. Pattern recognition, we do not do. Pattern recognition, we give to our mentor. Pattern repetition, pattern iteration. I'm not ambidextrous, I'm just lefty. So when I try to do things like a lefty, I get confused. And did I just juxtapose lefty-righty? Yeah, because I'm coming up with an excuse for pattern recognition we give to our mentor. We delegate that. Our mentor just tells us what to do, and then we do it. Oh, Larry, what if our mentor died, okay? Like Dick Rabin, okay? Dick, like Richard Rabin, Rehbein. He's not my mentor. He's Tom Brady's mentor. This is how I whale whisper. Is Dick Rabin died, and Tom Brady, during his 2000 breakout year, thought to himself, what if Dick Rabin had a cannon arm like Larry Chang? Well, and with everything that Dick Rabin knows, guess what? He beat Tom Brady. Let me repeat. Dick Rabin, okay, had a heart attack. Bill Belichick did not replace Dick Rabin. Rehbein. I haven't said this word in 15 years. Dick Rabin. Who's the mother-scratching whale whisperer? Me. Who's the baddest motherfucker on the planet? That would be Tom Brady. Who's the second baddest motherfucker on the planet? Larry Chang. Which is why I named myself my dog, Tom Brady, to humiliate me, because I should be Tom Brady. I just didn't listen to Dick Rabin, okay? So then Tom Brady is sitting back in the pocket, okay? He's got his, hey, Brady, turn your head this way. Brady, turn your head this way. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so he's in the ready position, scap loaded, okay? Brady, hey, turn your head this way. Hey, you got to look to see your target. Brady, look, left. Left. Not straight ahead, left. Brady, look left. They're looking in the camera. The camera's over here. Hey, Brady, the camera's over here. Hey, the camera's over here. We scap load, okay, and we think to ourselves, what if Dick Rabin had a cannon arm like Larry Chang does? What if Dick Rabin had a cannon arm the way that Tom Brady does? Would we be able to be much better at reading defenses? Yes. This is Mentor Mentions per press interview. This is why dudes get a 2-year career extension, not contractually, but by mentioning mentors. Because of point number one in what they don't teach you at Y Combinator is I need to know that some fat, washed up assistant clipboard carrying coach who told you something on Wednesday helps you win on game day. Can you take something that you read, YC? You read all the PGSAs once or a half a time. Have you made any money on it? And if you did read the Justin Kahn article, Give Them One Throat to Choke, your email addresses wouldn't currently be saying fuck me at mystartup.com. I'm sorry, it doesn't say fuck me, it says fuck you. That's what happens when you say email at duck9.com or help at duck9.com or staff at duck9.com. Fuck you, and fuck you harder. This is what your email should say. First name at yourcompany.com. And that's also a little bit of FU too, because people like, that's an email that's just, I could have seen that, and that makes the CEO common. So, maybe last name plus a number, so that way it's a secret email system. Chang9 at duck9.com. Ooh, that sounds like that's his real email. And then if you're a real whale whisperer and customer wrangler and vagina whisperer, you put the female CEO's phone number right on the website. Would you like to talk to our unicorn CEO? Her name and her phone number is 650-283-8008. In fact, there's a Twitter account for her at x.com/650-283-8008. Username at 650-283-8008. And so now you're able to, that was my Tom Brady impression, where I'm barking so much that tail end was like, "Eek." No more gut feelings. No more gut feels. Your gut, okay? It's not so good. What they don't teach you at Y Combinator is all those Tuesday night dinners. It's got shit tons of seed oil. That's why your face looks 15 years older than you is. Gut feel, okay? Chapter 4, Joe Dispenza. The reason I bring up Joe Dispenza is this is how to be a vagina whisperer. If you're like an average dude, just spit some Joe Dispenza regurgitation, because women, they love Joe Dispenza. They can't read a book. So as a man, just walk around with the Joe Dispenza book and women will throw vagina at you. If you look like a 3 and you're in YC, so you're a virgin, this will get you 4 prospects per year if you carry the book for 20 hours. If you're a 9 or a 10 or an 11 out of 10, you bring around a Joe Dispenza, you will be banging on the premises in stairwell number 7. Maybe not banging, because that's outside of my CS 183 Me Too protocol, because I want to get her to buy a room. It's a blowy in stairwell 7, and then will you sign a purchase order for sperm? No more gut feel. Tuesday night dinner, okay? Stop with the seed oils. Gross, okay? Gross. Seed oil. It's synthetic oil that's pressed out of a seed that's horrible for your digestive tract. Chapter 8, the Fiat Standard Safedina Mu. Do you see how crazy good I am at whale whispering? Keith Verboy, I mentioned him before. It's the unforced errors. He's a VC either at that one, who's that Indian dude who closed the beach? He's in Irv Grossbeck's textbook. He closed the beach, he bought a house, and then he tried to close public access to the beach. That guy. He's actually a great guy. So Keith Verboy worked with him, and then he's at Founders Fund, and then some other fund. So anyway, it's not the venture firm, it's the VC partner. Keith Verboy. On Twitter at RABOIS. I think he's actually spoken a couple times at YC. He should actually speak again at YC. Do you see how, to me, time is a flat circle, because this is just another rep. How happily do I do this rep as if this is the first time I've ever said any of these things? Well, CS 183, Me Too, okay? That's a new thing. And that's maybe why I try to mentor YC retards that somehow go to Harvard, Stanford, Harvard if your safety school, and then you go to YC, and then you somehow still go bankrupt. Like, I don't get it. You're literally going through 2 of the best institutions in the world, Stanford and Larry Chang, and YC still somehow goes bankrupt? What? In fact, in that situation, you're 3 for 3. You're at YC, top 3 institution of Silicon Valley. You went to Harvard, okay, and then you met Larry Chang. That's 2 of the 3 institutions of Silicon Valley. Put a pin in that, because I want to focus on Keith Verboy. If you can just eliminate the unforced errors of startups, 90% of your YC companies should be alive, default alive. And I'm not talking cockroach mode, default alive, zombie, okay? I'm talking about just not dying. Look, Brady's literally bored. Brady's literally bored because we're bored with this. Do you know why we're bored? Because with the information and the networking that you have, look, Brady literally wants to leave. You guys should be rich with the network, with the information, with the connections. I gave you the most important person in Silicon Valley's phone number earlier. Tom Brady, 415-612-1737. Brady said it on ESPN. Ditto Jimmy Butler. Keith Raboy loves sports, which is where we got the unforced errors thing. Don't just gut feel common sense, because your gut, it's not so healthy. Bristol 4 is something you don't even know about. Bristol like Connecticut, 4 like the type of poop you want to drop for digestive health. Unforced errors. This is going to be a doozy, okay? A doozy. In fact, I'm going to hit the other two pinpoint comments first. Mark Pincus. He's the one who explained what Web 2 was. Because I was like, what did you say? What's Web 2? I thought we were on Web 1. Web 2, Larry. You know, the social web. I was like, did you just make that shit up? And he's like, no, it's out there. And then me and Tim O'Reilly, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh my God. You guys are going to make so much money talking about the social web. Because last time I checked, anybody could publish a web page. And now you're going to say anybody can publish a web page that talks to another web page. That's supposed to be an innovation with linking. Like some server at Stanford is going to get super rich doing backlinks. Oh, is that how Google started? Using an external API into Yahoo? Yeah. Hashtag external API. Mark Pincus, Web 2, Tim O'Reilly. They decide to sell a conference, making buku money. So I heard what people said, and I remembered, and I made money with it. Do you see a pattern? That's the most important thing. You don't want to just be somebody told me Web 2. Because what I did, Larry Chang, is I said my name like I'm a rock star, actually rap artist rock star, and not like the P. Diddy kind that a rock star. Web 3, Web 4, Web 5. When Mark Pincus told me Web 2, I went ahead and added one. And this is how they all lay out. Because this is Larry Chang, the third institution of Silicon Valley, explaining what Web 4 and Web 5 are. Because I initially called Web 3 would be a dumpster fire. Why? Because I'm really good at pattern recognition, because VCs know that you don't invest in the startup founder's second startup. Web 2, Web 1, that's one web. The social web, that's one internet. That's not a new thing. That's just Web 1 redone. And guess what? That's going to win because that's barely an iteration. I knew Web 3 would be a dumpster fire in early 2003. Maybe I was 6. I just knew. IQ 488. I just knew Web 3 would be a dumpster fire. So I went ahead and jumped ahead to Web 4 and Web 5. Joe Dispenza, Chapter 11. Maxwell Maltz, Time is a Flat Circle. The Augie Garrido book recommendation. Get even more specific by having the specific person who gave you good advice give you 2 book recommendations, and then study buddy with them to then do the Vulcan Mind Meld 6.9, which is Larry Chang mentoring Spock to be almost as smart as Larry Chang, science officer and distribution officer aboard the USS YC bankruptcy ship avoidance machine. Being able to pattern recognize the fact that you can just do distribution via Web 4. Fiat striking back. That's Web 4. Web 4 is actually older than Web 1. What is fiat striking back? It's paper money. How's paper money conjured up? When one mainframe computer talks to another mainframe computer. They're not trading $1 million for Basel III system for money wire transfers. It's just one computer talking to another computer. And if that computer needs to borrow $1 trillion, they don't walk over a bunch of Abraham Lincoln $5 bills. No, they just say, okay, you need to borrow $1 trillion. Done. I'll let you borrow $1 trillion. That's Web 4. The Ethernet phone dial-up connection of two computers talking to computers. You can even do the API call over the phone. Hey, I'm a white or black person running the government. I need to borrow a shit ton of money because I'm not Chinese and I love debt. And I need to promise the people who voted for me that I'll go further into debt to give them money. Right? That's Web 4. Web 5 is, that's enough of that bullshit. We're going to have to go to the Bitcoin standard. Did I write the sequel to Michael Saylor's book, The Mobile Wave? DJ'd into Safedine Amou's book, The Fiat Standard, The Bitcoin Wave, The Bitcoin Standard? Yeah. That's what I do, is I just add one. And after I add one, I confirm, hey, do you like the fact that I added one? Steve Blank knows that I wrote the sequel post to Startup Death Spiral. Bitly. bit.ly/s_blank710. bit.ly/s_blank711. That was a new article, by the way. Don't mentally check out. Pen to paper, bitch. Bitly s_blank712. Bitly s_blank713. S like Stephen, blank, BLANK 714. S blank Bitly 715. Go to those URLs because that's a PhD thesis in specifically not going bankrupt, because Stephen Blank already has maybe a PhD. And if he doesn't have a PhD, Columbia, Harvard, Cal, Stanford, let's go. Steve Blank's not getting any younger. You should probably bequeath him a PhD in business. And then me too, because shucks, I surpassed him. Forget about giving Larry Chang a doctoral, okay? Because I'd rather just be a semi-pro paralegal right back on cue with Keith Raboy, SLS alumni, Stanford Law School. By the way, Stanford Law School is hosting a terrific event June 25 and 26 on corporeal board of governance. If you don't want your board to fucking fire you, which is what they kind of do teach you at Y Combinator, because Sam Altman went from fired to petitioning the board and working the board to back on the startup that he got fired from. Hashtag CS183BOD. Board of Director. Hashtag CS183BOD. It's what Y Combinator secretly knows but won't distribute because it doesn't want to distract you, because YC's okay with you getting fired. They just care about unicorn hunting. They don't care about you surviving, you thriving, your mental health, or your anything. They just want unicorns. Sound familiar? Dark? No, not dark, just real. I'm the guy who wrote the sequel to Bitcoin Standard, Fiat Standard, Michael Saylor's Mobile Wave. Chapter 19 to chapter 33. Chapter 19 to chapter 33. Let me show you how delegating to a mentor pattern recognition works. You're going to DJ 3 mentors. Who are they? 1, Michael Saylor. Because on the video that I did on November 2nd, I talked about what YC doesn't teach you is to just get 6.15 Bitcoin onto your treasuries. Right now, Bitcoin is slightly under $800,000, okay? So if you just somehow get to 6.15 Bitcoin, when it goes from $800,000 to $80 million, you'll be your own special unicorn. You're freaking welcome. I try to limit the number of Augie Garrido F-bombs I drop to 68 per video. Brittany, you're so clean. You're so clean. You take 1 bath per 4 months, and you don't smell bad at all. I don't know how you do that. Oh, wait. Did I just tell you that Tom Brady the human bathes literally like once every 12 days, and people think he smells good? Like, every time people say, oh my God, he smells good, I'm like, you know he doesn't shower after a football game, right? Yeah, I'm not a jock sniffer, okay? I delegate jock sniffing to somebody else. Web 5. Save 6.15 Bitcoin. 6.15 Bitcoin, please. Seriously, please. I care about you becoming a millionaire and being able to bang and then having a kid that kind of looks like you procreate. Now I sound like Elon Musk. Web 5. Mentors. Larry Chang, Michael Saylor, Safedin Amu. I'm not going to say that I got Michael Saylor into Bitcoin, but I was there, and he's now promoting what I knew before he knew. And his book, The Mobile Wave, has 10 chapters. My book is an iteration. My book, The Bitcoin Wave, Web 5. This is Web 5. This is the third institution of Silicon Valley walking you through Web 4, Fiat Strikes Back, and Web 5. The 3, the 4, the 5. In fact, for one of your future YC dinners, just play this video, because I'm not flying out to Mountain View just to like have more of you guys write on Quora hilarious stuff that shows everybody in the world how retarded you are. Adam at Quora, you're welcome for using Larry Chang and that girl that wrote that hilarious piece on why is Larry Chang the strangest person? Because this hot girl, put a pin in that story. The 3, the 4, the 5. Because this is actually what they do teach you at Stanford Baseball, which is you get your reps in. So the way I was getting my rep in was to write a sequel book, The Bitcoin Wave, chapters 19 through 33. And I wrote a book summary already on that, paralleling the book, The Mobile Wave, with consent of Michael Saylor, who said, I'm not going to write The Bitcoin Wave. And people are like, well, why? And he's like, because you haven't read The Mobile Wave. It's the same everything. I'm getting goosebumps. I'm so awesome. So I'm like, okay, what if I write it? Would you be okay with that? He's like, knock yourself out. That's why I'm hosting the 500K party before I host the 100K party, which then, or not financial advice, I'll be hosting the 226K party. 226K.220 party. Am I showing off right now? Yeah. Because 232,220 is how many Bitcoin MicroStrategy currently has. Spinning up to 500K. I'm brushing Brady. I'm not doing anything else below my belt. I'm brushing him. Look how much fur I get. I literally spend like 20 minutes a day brushing them. I get like, I'm not mining fiat. I'm not mining Bitcoin. I'm proof of working Brady hair. I'm literally mining Brady hair with multiple brushes. 232,000 Bitcoin. That's not too much. You want to keep going. But you should have 6.15 Bitcoin. You YC Ethereum, like unicorn people. 6.15 Bitcoin. What they don't teach you at Y Combinator, they do teach you at Stanford Baseball. How many Stanford Baseball alums do you guys have at YC? Are you guys specifically rejecting people because they're Stanford Baseball? And if you are Stanford Baseball and at YC, shame on you for not texting me at least 10 times. Or maybe you did text me, but then you got the phone numbers juxtaposed, where you mixed up my Uber API phone number, 415-720-8500, Uber, external API. Larry Chang, solo founder of the Uber API. 415-720-8500, Uber, into your search bar. What they do teach you at Stanford Baseball is to practice two things, offense and defense. If YC were to show up at a basketball game, you'd be jacking up three-pointers going, why does it look so easy on TV? And then you'd be throwing an air ball that would be nowhere close to the basket, and then you'd be like, oh, I look like an idiot. Well, guess what? When you go bankrupt after you go to Stanford and YC, you look like an idiot. Like, how in the world do you somehow manage to go bankrupt when you should be winning a ton? What they don't teach you at Stanford Baseball, that they don't stress for you to go to GSB, Stanford's business school. Oh my God. You guys know that, oh, YC is the most interesting thing that you'll ever do in your life. Guess what people do with that after they go bankrupt? They go to business school. Why are you quitting business just to go to business school? Because guess what? All these things that you don't want to do that are under the umbrella of distribution, all these things will be waiting for you after you spend $250,000 to get what you could have gotten with a library card and access to Chad and Steve's website. Chad Hurley, Steve Chen, co-founders of YouTube. The third co-founder quit, went and got a PhD from the University of Illinois. Not me. Why? Like, why won't you just practice on a cadaver? Now we're right specifically into Irv Grosbeck, Christian Robinson, Stanford baseball alum, and Search Entrepreneurship, Search Fund, hashtag turnarounds, Andrew Mason, let's polish up our turds, and then let's get super rich. Let's circle back to the beginning, which is, can you watch a video like this and then win? Can you read a thing that Paul Graham wrote and then win? and then send a thank you to the person who helped you win.